showed you north of my hometown and south of my hometown, Cambridge in Guernsey County and Marietta in Washington County. I live in the middle. This is Noble County, and we're sitting here actually beside the old sheriff's office and jailhouse. And we look at these old buildings and we think, man, that was a long time ago. But it really wasn't. It was in my lifetime that this jail was in use. Across the street there is the present day municipal building in the center of what we call the square. My grandfather came from Cambridge, which is north of here. And my grandmother came from a place called Dexter City, which is just south of here. And he would go pick her up, take her out on the town. And quite often they went to a place called the Roxy, which was a theater that showed movies and stuff like that. Grandpa would take her to the Saturday matinee. It was 5 cents. I remember him saying that. It was a nickel. Grandpa would take Grandma to the Roxy for a Saturday matinee, and it costed a nickel. Whoa, that was a lot of money back then, and it wasn't that long ago. What a wonderful town. Back in the old days, before they put Interstate 77 in, Marietta, of course, was the first actual city in Ohio, and Cambridge wasn't long after. And there was a lot of traffic, people going from Cambridge to Marietta, Marietta to Cambridge, on old State Route 21. This is one of the very small pieces of the actual old State Route 21. And as you can see, I'm walking down the middle of it. It is not very wide at all, and that's how it was. As a matter of fact, back then, most of it wasn't even paved. This has been newly paved. There's one of the highways that replaced it, running right alongside of it. This here goes into a little village called Florence, and if you can't figure out what that was named after, you need to buy yourself a map. Back in those days, some people had horse-drawn carriages, and some people had cars that were actually homemade. You know, there was a lot of breakdowns and problems, and this road, it would take so long. I mean, with the interstates today, you can get from Cambridge to Marietta in a matter of, I don't know, maybe 30 minutes, 20, 30 minutes, something like that. Back in those days, when this was the only road that there was to get back and forth, it literally took a whole day and sometimes 2 days to make that trip from one city to the other. Somebody got smart enough to say, hey, I got an idea. And they put a little roadside stand up right in the middle. They went as close to the middle as they could on old 21, and they put a little roadside stand up, and they charged $1 for a glass of water, just a glass of regular old water, and they made a fortune. I mean, you got to realize, Caldwell was already an established town when going to the Saturday matinee costed my grandfather 5 cents. So imagine, before Caldwell was a town, how much $1 was for a drink of water. You're talking $100 for a drink of water. That's what you're talking. Maybe more. But, I mean, you know, to us. But people were so thirsty that they would actually give up a big hunk of money for just a drink of water, because so many people would start out on that trip thinking it won't take that long, and all it took was a horse to take a wrong step or a homemade car to break down, and you weren't going to get around very quick on this old road, you know, which was half mud back then. And yeah, people getting stuck and all kinds of problems. I mean, it wasn't unheard of that it took more than 2 days to go from one time, because I mean, there were so many problems along this tiny little road that went so far. And that's how Caldwell got started. Somebody put a little roadside stand up, sold water for $1 a glass. And then somebody else thought, you know what we could do? We could make sandwiches and sell food really expensive and make money. And that's what they did. Pretty soon, somebody said, hey, I'm a pretty good mechanic. I could help people when their cars break down. I'll set up there too. And the next thing you knew, Caldwell was a town. They didn't call it Caldwell, they called it Soakum, because all the people who first moved in, that was what they were doing, was making a whole lot of money real quick by soaking people, as they would say back then. So they called the town Soakum. It was later that they named it Caldwell. Let's go in the Noble County Jail. Today it's a museum.
Judy Robinson, president of the Noble County Historical Society.
All right, that's good.
And now, what's your name?
I'm just going to let it run and we'll just edit it.
Yeah, hello.
My name's Keith Grewell.
Okay. We'll go into... Our main piece is a piece of the catwalk. This is what went from one end of the ship to the other, so that the crew could walk from, you know, their headquarters to the kitchen, to the control car, to the workspace.
That's all the wider it was?
That is all the wider it is. It's 7 inches.
Wow.
And the metal underneath is duraluminum. Duraluminum is alloy between aluminum and copper, developed by Germany to use on their framework. It's very sturdy, but it's very light.
Right.
Okay.
And that, I can't believe how thin that is. That's the outside of the...
That's the outside of
the old Shenandoah, the blimp, the... What do they call it? Dirigible.
Dirigible. And the orange part, those were what made up the gas cells. So they were inside that.
In the middle there. Yeah. Whoa. That is pretty weird. I want that hat.
Now this is a piece of Site 3.
Was that near Ava?
No, this piece is out of Sharon.
Oh, okay.
After it landed, we had the people come and they started stripping the covering off of it, and they took anything they could get a hold of as souvenirs.
Wow.
Later, the army was sent in to stop them and to collect as much stuff back as they could, because a lot of things was never taken back. Right. That's why we have so much.
Oh, yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Man, there's a lot of stuff on it.
That's Site 2. That's the one you can see from the interstate.
That's the Ava one. Yeah.
Yes. Before they started stripping it.
Wow. Look at the old cars.
Yes. Now this is another Site 2, same site, but it's a different, from the other side of the ship. So you can see the Shenandoah name. And again, all the cars. It was also during the Noble County Fair. And the story is that people that went at noon, this happened around 5, 6 o'clock in the morning. When the people got there at noon to go to the fair, there wasn't anything there but a few vendors, because everybody went to Ava to see the crash.
Yeah. Well, that's just amazing. You didn't have telephones and a lot of, so it was all word of mouth. Yeah. This is another view of Site 2, aerial view that shows the crash there by the interstate. Yeah, you can see there's no interstate there.
No. But today, you have the USS Shenandoah Memorial Highway at about this angle or so.
Yeah.
This is a part of the framework. It's duraluminum again.
Yeah, it weighs nothing.
No.
It's like, it's nothing. It weighs nothing at all.
But it's strong.
But that held that huge thing together.
Yes.
Wow.
Now,
What's the flag about?
that was a signal flag that the ship carried. And they also mourned with ships at sea docked to the ship.
Right.
And different flags and different symbols on flags meant different things.
Right.
This particular one says, I'm coming in on your port side. So the ship would know which side they're coming in and where they're going to be at.
Right.
But it flew from Ava to Sharon.
Really?
With a gentleman hanging on a rope hanging below it.
I'd heard that.
And when
that's true?
Yes.
I didn't know if it was true.
Yes. And when they got out to Sharon, one of the farmers was going from one building to another, or barn or whatever. And because it was like, 6:30 in the morning.
Right.
And he yelled down and said, "Get your shotgun and shoot us down."
Really?
Mm-hmm. Because they had to shoot holes in the cells that held the helium so it would float down. And that's what he did. They had some ropes hanging down. They tried to tie them to trees, but it didn't hold. So they still kept going.
This is the actual laptop out of the Shenandoah.
No. We have a video on there that we used.
This was Landon's kitchen back in the day.
Yes, but
Landon's my favorite sheriff ever.
all the sheriffs, including Landon, had to live here. That was state law.
Right.
Them and their families lived here. Their wives, or if they didn't have a wife, they may have had a sister. They had somebody designated.
My grandma had that exact same oven. I'll tell you what, it was so hot in the kitchen, it was crazy.
Well, the wife was the matron, take care of the women, and she also cooked all the meals for the prisoners.
Oh yeah, and there's a hole in the wall over
The
there.
hole in the wall so you could see
the
what's going on
prisoners.
in the cells.
Yeah. See that hole? We'll show you the other side of it.
This is the cots from the cells that they had and some of the clothes and then other miscellaneous items that's
This
been
was
donated by the sheriff's department.
The luxury hotel for people of my caliber. Anyway. There's the other side of that hole I was showing you. Mm-hmm. Looking this way. So the last high profile person kept in this place was Thomas Dillon. And apparently he did so much bragging about all the people he killed or whatnot that it drove everybody nuts. And they took him upstairs to the female area to keep him. Is that correct?
Mm-hmm. Well, this used to be the women's wing, dormitory style. Right now it's serving as the general store display. But this
They're also, yes, displaying the general store here.
right.
But this was where they kept the female prisoners.
It was a dormitory style. This door is the only door in the building that has that small hole. And that was just so the guards could look in and see that everybody was okay, but
They could get over
they
and
could get over in the corner and change and have some privacy. So.
oh, I wouldn't want that. Get some cameras in there.
Yeah. Well, Thomas Lee Dillon was from up around the Canton area. He killed 4 people before he got on at least 4 that we know of, before he was on the FBI list. And then he got caught down here in Noble County with the 5th. So yeah, he was housed in here mainly because he couldn't stop bragging about his accomplishments downstairs, and it was
Can you imagine?
a little disheartening. He used to brag a lot about killing animals.
Really?
And he was proud of it, and I just don't think they had realized he had progressed where he did.
Wow. I kind of wish it were more empty the way it would have been back then.
Right. But,
I mean, I understand there's a lot of other things here to look at.
yeah. I guess.
These look like wooden doors. They're
steel.
They're steel and they're heavy. They're really heavy. Oh, okay.
Yeah,
So right next to the women's is the
juvenile.
juveniles. Yeah, this is where they kept the kids.
Right now, that's why we have children's displays in here right now.
They're still working on it in here. More displays and stuff.
The children weren't really imprisoned here, but they were held until they had court dates.
And beaten.
And then if they did have to serve time, it was usually sent to Woodsfield or somewhere else. But right now,
Which everybody hated when the kids got sent to Woodsfield because
I've heard
it was too Catholic.
yeah,
I guess it's,
that's what I've heard anyway.
which is kind of odd.
I know. But I think, anybody they would rather have their kids in their hometown than sent anywhere, so.
Yeah. Whoa. Well, we got both of them. Mm-hmm. Well, there you have Caldwell and Noble County, but there's so much more to show you. There's just not enough time in a video to get through it all. When I went to the jailhouse, which is now a museum, there were displays of all different stuff. I basically showed you the first display was the Shenandoah. That was done in the front room of the sheriff's quarters. And of course the whole place is either sheriff's quarters or jail. And there's just so much to show you that I went there for 3 days in a row, and every time I was there I learned something new. I mean, it's just amazing, but there's just not enough time in a video to go through everything. And that's not the only place to visit in Caldwell. There's the Caldwell Ball House, and there's a lot of walking tours you can do. There's all kinds of stuff to see. Then I wanted to show you Dexter City, but there just isn't time. So if you want to see that stuff, let me know what you want to see. I'll do my best to show you, but I'm not going to make this video 3 days long. So anyway, there you have it, and that's the lowdown on this direct area where I've spent the last several years of my life. And there's a little bit more than that, but I don't know if you want to go back that far. So anyway, what I want to do is just say thank you for watching. I enjoy your company, and we'll see you on the next video. Bye bye.